Way back when "Oh That I Were an Angel" was first written, Irwin Phelps, who was over the pageant as a director of the Easter Sunrise at that time, asked me to please arrange "Oh That I Were an Angel" for the choir. And so the original "Oh That I Were an Angel" was arranged specifically for the Easter choir to be sung at that time. And that was before the days of the typewriter and computers, and so we didn't have the music typeset. So every year, when they come to practice again, I would change it. And finally the choir said, "No more, that's it, no more changes." And so I had to accept what I had, whether they had mistakes or whatever. And that's the way it has been for over 52 years. It's been that way. "Oh That I Were an Angel." I heard the words in church, and I thought, oh, I could just hear the music to those words, and I was the choir director at that time. And I turned to my organist and I said, "Oh, can't you just hear the music to those words?" She looked at me and she said, "No." And I was surprised because to me I could hear it. And so I waited one day until I could feel the spirit of angels all around me. I could feel it in the air. And I went into my piano. And at that time, we lived across the street from Melvin's parents. So my children spent a lot of time at Grandma's house, leaving me time to sit at the piano and create music. So I went to the piano and I kneeled down at my bench, and I asked my Heavenly Father that I might have the right to write and put that music to the words, and that it would be music that would inspire missionary work throughout the world. I do not know why I dared to say throughout the world. Here I was, just married right out of high school. I had never studied music. I had only been active in the church. But I got up from my knees, and within 10 minutes to an hour, I had the basic melody to that song. And my hands would float over the piano, the keyboards. I could hear the music, but I could not. I was afraid to even touch the piano because I was afraid it would say a different note. And so I would wait, and it took me 6 months, waking in the middle of the night sometime. Finally, when I could hear, "Oh, that's it," and I would run to the piano, write it, and then write it down on the music. And then, when I had it all written down on music, I looked at all those notes and I could not sight read it. I could play it with my eyes closed, but the notes meant nothing to me. They were just a bunch of specks on the paper. But I know, and I can bear testimony, that this song was written in the heavens. And I was given the privilege of being able to bring it forth at this time. And I was given that privilege because I asked for it. And if I hadn't have asked, it wouldn't have been given to me. But I asked because I knew that my husband was a 70 involved in missionary work at the time. And at that time I had 4 boys that I knew would serve missions. And I had been raised in a missionary home all my life, and my parents had taught the gospel with all their life. So that was the beginning of my biggest number.